Everybody, JCB here with the Awesomeness, and you're watching the Awesomeness YouTube channel. So this video is a little different in that I feel like it must represent the longest gap between when I actually filmed a video and when I posted a video. What you're about to see is a travel vlog about a trip I took the Awesomeness on back in August of last year. As a lot of you will remember, last summer I attempted what I called the 50 Days of Summer Challenge, in which I'd upload one new video every day for 50 days of summer break. And I got really close to actually completing that challenge until like the very last week. Some crazy stuff happened at work, and I had to go in about a week early to make sure the school year went off without a hitch. Anyway, because of that, I missed my last few uploads. I made it all the way to day 42. Wow. 8 videos short. That sucks. The trip I'm about to show you was supposed to represent days 49 and 50 of that challenge, but because I recorded like an hour's worth of raw footage over the course of 2 days, I never had time to put together such a big project. Like, not with all the lesson planning and grading and all the other teacher stuff involved with being a teacher. So it just kind of got pushed off to the side. But today my procrastination pays off. You see, with Magic Mountain closed and really all the amusement parks closed, and my teaching duties winding down for the year, I can finally go back and edit some of the bigger projects I've been putting off. And I want to stress that all the footage you're about to see was filmed back in August, way before this whole coronavirus lockdown thing happened. So if you see footage of my wife and I surrounded by dozens of people all not wearing masks, try not to feel too anxious about it, as it was a different time. Back when we could visit that magical place called outside. By the way, it'll probably still be 2 videos worth of content, because after putting all of day 1's footage together, it was about 36 minutes long. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna try to edit that down as close as I can to that magical 10-minute mark, but did you just check how long this video is? It's rude. Anyway, located in Three Rivers, California, Sequoia National Park is home to the world's largest tree, the General Sherman. Now I should say, though you may be tempted to visit Sequoia National Park, it is currently closed to the public due to this whole coronavirus thing. Anyway, this trip was a surprise birthday present for my amazing and beautiful wife. She had no idea where we were going. All she knew was that our friend Kelsey and her boyfriend were coming, as well as our friends Mike, Sandy, and Ellie. That's it. She knew it was going to be an adventure. It was out of town. Other than that, she had no clue what was happening. I booked a quirky Airbnb in a nearby town that was originally a barn. Inside was absolutely beautiful. The owner had only finished converting the downstairs portion, with the upstairs area kind of serving as storage at the moment, but he said he planned to get the upstairs converted as soon as possible, so it might be done by the time you're watching this. There were all sorts of decorations all over the place. Plus there was a TV in the living room, a fireplace, a big table, a kitchen that, while small, is still bigger than mine, and just a real cozy atmosphere. The only downsides were that there was only one restroom and only one bedroom, which meant our friends had to sleep on the hide-a-bed in the living room. This is also an 18 and over only rental, and once you're inside, you'll immediately understand why. There are sharp objects everywhere. Like, if there was a tornado, this is the last place you want to hide. So we spent Friday night sleeping in the Airbnb, then woke up bright and early Saturday morning to meet our friends Mike, Sandy, and Ellie for breakfast. But while I was waiting for the ladies to get ready, I decided to get some footage of the outside of the barn since I couldn't see much the night before. There was a porch swing, a little model of the barn itself, and a kitty that was super friendly. Here's a better shot of what the outside looks like. It's just a really cool space and somewhere I would definitely stay again. We drove into the town of Kingsburg, aka Little Sweden, to get some gas and some breakfast before hitting the road for the hour-long drive to the front gate of Sequoia National Park. Where are we going, babe?
General Sherman's General Sherman's tree. I don't know.
She's been doing this with me for what, 5 years now? You know how this works?
No.
The drive up is winding and slow. It takes about a half an hour to get from the front gate up to the parking area to see the General Sherman. I cannot stress enough how beautiful the drive up to the park is, and I'm very lucky my wife wanted to drive, because if she hadn't, I wouldn't have been able to get this awesome shot of the sun shining through the trees. For those of you who don't know, the General Sherman is Sequoia National Park's claim to fame. It is the largest tree in the world, and people come from all over the planet to see it. Once you park, you're kind of forced to ride the shuttle everywhere you want to go because parking is in such high demand that you're better off ditching your car for the day. The shuttle bus is free though, and other than a few confusing issues, it really is the most efficient way to get around the park, especially considering there's absolutely no cell phone service in the area. This is both a blessing and a curse. A blessing because oftentimes when we go out of town, we're never able to truly get away. There's always something else in our lives going on that tends to interrupt and intrude into our vacation, be it family issues or friends or work or whatever. Something just tends to interrupt at some point or another. So it was nice to be incommunicado for a couple of days. But it's also a curse because if you get separated from your group, you can't simply call or text to meet up. And if you get injured, you can't call for help. Not that it would matter since the nearest hospital is an hour away. You also can't consult your phone for directions, and you have to be really specific and careful about how you plan things. This is like going back in time to like the 1990s. You have to know exactly when and where you plan to meet because otherwise people are probably going to get lost. And you can't be super vague. You have to know exactly where you plan to park so that your friends can meet you exactly there. And you have to actually show up when you say you're going to because there's no texting them to let them know you're going to be late or calling them and being like, hey, can we do this another day? You have to keep your word, otherwise they're going to be stuck there waiting for you. Also, probably the most annoying thing about not having cell phone service is how many times I'd see something cool, like an interesting tree, or forget the name of like a certain kind of insect, and I'd pull my phone out to try to Google it, only to realize I didn't have instant access to information. That's apparently changing though, as the park plans to install cell towers, though their concerns seem to be more about immediate access to emergency services, more than instant access to information, which makes sense. The surrounding area of the General Sherman is a freaking zoo. In order to get there, you have to pass through this tree stump that's lying on its side, which you might think is no big deal, except you have to battle your way past an army of Instagram husbands and their wannabe influencer wives as they all try to take the same exact photo. As you near the General Sherman, there are paths of level concrete that allow guests of all types to easily make their way to the wooden giant. A lot of the trees are protected from visitors by small wooden fences because I'm sure some people can't resist the urge to carve nonsense into the side of a living tree that's older than the United States. There's also a ton of little kids climbing on everything and running around. But once you're at the General Sherman, it's a nice, quiet, peaceful space of tranquility. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's a line of 200 people all trying to get a picture in front of a little sign. Much like the tree tunnel, the General Sherman exists almost exclusively as a background for Instagram photos. And as such, you can expect to wait about an hour to get a picture of the damn thing. It gets pretty packed right there. This line takes forever too, because everybody wants to take a million variations of this photo. After getting our obligatory photo, we kind of just wandered around a bit and read all the signs posted in the area with information about the General Sherman. Fun fact, the General Sherman is not the tallest tree in the world, just the largest. And while you may be thinking, that sounds like the same thing, you're not wrong. You basically gotta think of it as kind of like a short guy who's cultivated a lot of mass. The General Sherman is the Danny DeVito of trees. Despite the fact that the whole park is incredibly touristy, I do recommend visiting the General Sherman if you get the chance. There's a real possibility that some idiot will accidentally set the whole park on fire with a blunt someday, and the General Sherman will be the world's largest pile of charcoal, but not the tallest pile of charcoal. There's a difference. Anyway, after getting on the shuttle bus and then getting off at the wrong stop and then waiting around to get the right shuttle bus to get us back to our car, we decided it was getting pretty late and we should drive back to town. After we got back to town, we went to dinner at Bravo's Farms, which looks incredibly different. Longtime Awesomeness fans will remember the first time we visited Bravo's Farms on our very first trip to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. If you haven't seen that video yet, I highly recommend you watch it to truly appreciate just how much this place has grown and changed. Don't get me wrong, they still sell a bunch of crazy sodas, amazing cheese, all sorts of candies and treats. Plus out back, they still have the tree house I climbed last time and the livestock you can feed. The upstairs arcade was closed when I looked, but they have a shooting gallery game now. But most importantly, the food is still amazing. I highly recommend Bravo Farms now with air conditioning. When we got back to the barn, we decided to take in the scenery. Oh, I almost forgot, outside there's a balcony at the top of the stairs that gives you a nice view of the surrounding area. Say hi.
Oh, hi, Mark.
So that concludes part one of our trip to Sequoia National Park to see the General Sherman. We retired for the evening with plans to return to the park on Sunday morning to see Crystal Caves and anything else the park had to offer. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. So that's part 1 of my trip to Sequoia National Park. Part 2 will be posted soonish. I also have some Magic Mountain content that'll be coming up soon before the park reopens, so look forward to that. Anyway, if you enjoyed this little trip back in time to when you can go to a place like Sequoia National Park, make sure you leave a comment down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you'll be alerted when I upload my next video. And until next time, keep being awesome. So there's no sound. We can watch this play on a loop. I have the loop option turned on here, and we can see how this looks. And because it's just going to loop over and over again, it doesn't matter that we start in the tunnel. Nobody really know where the start point is or where the end point is unless they've been on the ride a bunch. And then they'll just assume the video starts where the ride starts. So it all kind of works out there.